Perhaps one of the most mysterious events in the history of mankind is one of the most mysterious events in the history of mankind. There are very striking rumors about what happened to Harut and Marut. So which one is real and which one is legendary? Let's start if you are ready. Spells cast in every corner of the world, spells that ruin people's lives, spells that ruin people's lives, where and from whom he learned to intervene in other people's lives supernaturally. Now I will take you to a cave in Damascus, Syria, where even the leaders of countries today are said to be secretly after him, because the Qur and the two angels named Harut mentioned in the Quran are thought to have a connection with this cave. And the rumors and stories about them are so many and so striking that I think it would be useful to examine a little bit in order to find out how reliable the sources of what is told about them are in order to obtain false information. One of the most common methods to obtain any information today is research on the internet. So when you type Harut Marut in search engines, I have researched for you the source of some of the most common information you come across. Now let's take a look at the basis of this information that we encounter most about Harut Marut. The Prophet Solomon was only a king in Judaism and Christianity, but in Islam he was a ruler and prophet, the ruler of the lands extending from the Euphrates River to the Sinai Desert. But it was the supernatural powers he had, unlike other people, that made him most famous. One of these difficulties was that the sons of Israel thought that he was providing these supernatural powers through magic, and as always, they started rumors about Solomon that he was a sorcerer. According to another rumor, the reason why Harut Marut was sent down to earth was to show the difference between the miracle that God had given to Solomon and magic. Today, it is rumored that the spells taught by Harut and Marut are still used by the Masons. In the meantime, an important detail is that before teaching magic to people, they were definitely warning them about one thing, and that is that the reward for learning magic from Harut and Marut is definitely eternal in hell. Now let's clarify a controversial issue about Harut Marut. According to the most popular rumor about them, one day the angels asked God why he created humans superior to us. And they said that if they were us, we would not commit the sins they committed and would not do the wrong things they did. God answered the angels' question as follows: if you had the soul that humans have, you would sin like them. Hearing this, the angels said that if we had it, we would constantly worship. It's in the continuation of the story that you see everywhere. God gave human souls to two of them and sent them to a city. These two angels named Harut walked around the city like normal people during the day and went up to the sky at night. The two angels, who could continue in this way for a while without committing any sin, fell in love with a woman named Suhur, whom they saw as a prisoner of the human soul temporarily given to them, and finally fell in love with a woman named Suhur by committing sins, raped her and killed her child while they were drunk, and as a result of this wrongdoing, they were punished by God and sentenced to be hanged upside down in a cave by their legs until the day of judgment. They heard what the devils fabricated and said about the kingdom of Solomon, and the truth is that Solomon did not disbelieve, but the devils did, because they were teaching people about magic and what was revealed to the two angels in Babylon, Harut and Marut. But these two angels did not inform anyone unless they said, "We are only a test and a patient. So do not disbelieve," but they asked these two angels to tell them about the husband and wife. They learnt things that would drive a wedge between them, but they could not harm anyone with it, except by Allah's permission. Yet they learnt things that did not benefit them but harmed them, and they knew very well that whoever buys magic has no share in the hereafter. And they knew very well what they had sold themselves for, and if only they knew how true the stories told about them are. The truth is that the Quran tells us about the existence of Harut and Marut, and that they teach magic. But how dare these people, who know that those who cast spells and those who have them cast spells will end up in hell, attempt to do this? Another interesting rumor is that even today there are some people who are after Harut and Marut for their evil ambitions. This is where Harut and Marut are now, because the only way to reach Harut and Marut is through the jinns of magicians who can do magic on a large scale. According to some old versions, Harut and Marut are located in a cave in Damascus, Syria. The stories told in various sources are really chilling. One night, one of the jinns under the command of a sorcerer who had mastered the science of magic was seen and told him that if he wanted he could go to Damascus and learn some secrets from Harut and Marutan on his behalf some time past. and that sorcerer had planned to go to that cave himself with the help of the jinns. But when he reached and found the money, he came to the entrance of the cave, and according to the rumor, Harut and Marut also met there. Legend has it that this sorcerer man knew that Harut and Marut would end up in hell, but he cast a spell that would cause war between the two countries. And we don't know if these rumors are true or not. But the following question comes to one's mind: is there a direction that can cause war between countries, such as the existence of spells that open the gap between husband and wife, or a person who knows that a person is sick? The memory of Harut and Marut. One of the interesting theories behind America's hard work with Syria may sound strange to your ear, as if it has taken the day. Maybe you may be asking ourselves that the leaders of the whole country may be interested in poisoning with magic. Which, if you are one of those who think so, get ready for what you will hear now. A crowd gathered in front of Trump Towers, where former American President Donald Trump lived. But they had a distinctive feature that distinguished them from other people. This group consisted of rooftops that were advanced in the science of magic. They had organized days before in social media, namely in groups called Trump Binding Spell, that they had opened on Twitter and Facebook. And just as they planned, they took the day they took with them at midnight on the night connecting February 24th to the 25th. At midnight on the night when the moon moved from the crescent position to the full moon. They gathered at the planned place with their materials. The materials brought by the participants of the mass magic ritual are a non-praising photo of Trump, a bowl of water, a tower tarot paper, and an orange candle. The world-famous singer Lana Del Rey, who made announcements on social media days ago and advertisements on pages that reached tens of thousands of participants on Facebook, has also managed to make a mention with her support posts on her own account. The artist shared the dates when mass spells will be held. The spells to be cast were not limited to one night. Witches gathered in front of Trump's house at midnight on 24th February, 26th March, 24th March, 24 people, and 23rd May, and performed a binding spell on their social media accounts. On Twitter, photos of the big night were shared with users under the spell resistance. Apparently this worked great at that time, because Trump would continue to sit in his seat for a while, but not much time passed after the spell ritual. President Trump's hotel room afire that has attracted attention. So is it being done with this kind of world in our country? In the past, this issue has come to the agenda many times in the past. The news of the biggest attempts made against the party leaders has become an agenda in many media, but one cannot help asking myself a more important question. I wonder if other states with treacherous plans on our beautiful country could be making such great attempts. If they could be asked, do we carry out any defense against such a situation? If you have those who say that the states have no power, they will reach by magic, listen to this. The group of witches in Russia, who call themselves the Empire of Invincible Witches, who personally work on behalf of President Putin, recently organized a big month in Moscow on behalf of Putin Russia. The Witches Union, which attracted a lot of attention with their black clothes and large books in their hands, gathered together and cursed against the enemies of Russia. They utilized their great books and performed their types. They performed protection spells against the black magic that might be cast on Russia. They began to cast protection spells against the black magic spells that might be cast on Russia. Alien Apeling completed his task by saying that he cursed our evil mighty enemies, who came to you today, who left us with evil, and who left us from Sherlock Coffee forever and ever and ever. I know that all this sounds interesting to your ears, but people have more bad and disgusting sides. I will tell you about such unknown facts on this channel. See you in the next video. Bye bye.